The bait's finished. I shouldn't show you, but I just completely forgot to record a fun fact for this video. I've been rushed to this video, if you can't tell already. Why would you be able to tell? It's right at the beginning of the video. Regardless, the fun facts needs to be done. On piranhas, a member of the Serracimidia, chariciform fish. It's a chariciform fish, a member of the Serracimidia family. Isn't it crazy? They start out with the most useless stuff. If you like to look like you know a lot, say these words and it relates to this fish. They say that stuff first, you know? 90 species in that family of fish. Piranhas are one of them. They inhabit the South American river systems, floodplains, lakes, all the fresh water in South America. When you think of a predator freshwater fish, you think of this fish pretty quick. But they don't eat just meat. They have a mouth that can crack nuts open. Watch out. They're known for picking skeletons clean of meat. But what's even scarier to me is that their mouth is made for cracking nuts open. I'm uncomfortable with that notion. They're omnivorous, that's all I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I just cut the joint. Didn't record that, set the camera up, put my finger on the button and applied pressure, but it didn't go, didn't record. Look at the munching mechanism on that fish. Oh my goodness, that could crack a nut and take quite the chunk out of you. The piranha name comes from the Tupi people, T-U-P-I. The Tupi people. They were the most numerous peoples indigenous to Brazil. 2,900 years ago is when they started, the Tupi people. Pira, meaning fish, and Sina, meaning tooth, I think. So P and A, with the Ra. So Pira and Na. They took the beginning off the word Sina and stuck it onto Pira, Pirahna. Thanks for letting me know how that was made up. And now, oh, another possible derivation from the piranha is probably fish. In the 18th century Portuguese emerged and piranha family word came from blah, 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 blah. After having learned why a word's called what it is that information ever used again in anybody's life? Okay, it's called that, got it, I'll remember, so I can refer to it again using that word. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe that's important and I don't understand. They're mostly localized to a single river system. The most common is the red-bellied piranha. It occurs in several of these systems. But what's really cool is piranhas have been unsuccessfully introduced into parts of the United States. There's a bunch of red-bellied pacus, P-A-C-U, and people mistake those in the United States for piranhas all the time. They're not piranhas. There's evidence of them surviving in other places, but it's not common. They're really localized to their river systems. So this is a 5 to 14 inch fish. What is that bird? Every time I try to run out there to see that bird making that noise, I can't, I'm gonna try to see. Yeah. I'll never know what that bird is. Anyway, they think there's also an extinct version of the piranha. The largest one grew up to 28 inches long. A 28 inch long piranha, that could probably be a 30-something pound fish pretty quick. Maybe 40. They're really tall, you know? Oh, and then it says possibly even 50 inches. That's a dinosaur fish. Probably more intense than catching a tuna out of the fresh river waters of the Amazon. All piranhas have a single row of sharp teeth on both of their jaws, top and bottom. They're tightly packed in there and they interlock. Because each tooth comes to a point, it punctures whatever it's biting and then it kind of combs out and they cut and they shear and they just are made for taking chunks out of things. So relative to its body mass, this creature, and in this case they were specifically studying the black piranha. I don't like how why don't they say where it ranks? It produces one of the most forceful bites measured in vertebrates. It's ranked as an extremely powerful and dangerous bite. Their jaws are jacked. It's because the muscle is so big and it's attached so close to the edge of the jaw. It has so much leverage to just shove those teeth up into the top. It uses a mechanical advantage to get a super strong bite. But because it's using that mechanical advantage, it's a slow bite. It's actually not a super fast, I mean, they can probably snap their jaws as fast as a human, but it's more like hydraulics. Slow, you better not be in the way when it's closing because nothing stops it. This is also a fish that hunts in schools, large schools. But don't be fooled, this isn't them cooperating in order to all get enough meat together. This is them just trying to cover their own butt by being with a bunch of other piranhas And it's less likely that a giant tigerfish is going to come out of nowhere and eat you because you're singled out. You're in your school. I mean, there's caimans where these things live. There's just these dinosaur birds flying through the sky that can see through the water and dive down and just end your life if you're not in the school with the other piranhas. You just have less chance of dying if you're in the school with other piranhas. That's why they do it. Cormorants. Those are the birds. Piranhas have to watch out for cormorants. Even dolphins. Dolphins will come up in the freshwater and eat piranha. That's pretty BA. I would love to witness a dolphin showing piranha who's boss. But just a disclaimer, there are species of piranhas that are more solitary. There's species that are known for forming giant groups too, not just like your normal size school, so it varies. The best way to describe a piranha's diet is that there is nothing they don't eat, and I can move on to the next article, which is relationship with humans. This might get weird. I don't have a piranha relationship. Humans will use their teeth as tools, carving wood or cutting hair, sharpening of darts. They must be talking about people living in the jungle. I don't know why they wouldn't be talking about that. That's the only place these fish are. They are food. They're probably good. For the people who fish the waters where the piranha are, this fish is generally a nuisance. They damage your fishing gear when accidentally caught. They probably just bite your hook in half. They steal bait. They'll eat your catch before you can get it in. You'll reel in a skeleton instead of a fish. It doesn't say that there, I just said that. A lot of people have had a piranha as a pet in their aquarium, in their house, but they are illegal in many parts of the United States. Importers face 6 to 4 years in jail for importing a piranha because they're just so dangerous to the waters around here, even though they can't get them to take. It's strange you'd put somebody in prison for 4 to 6 years for importing them. Why isn't there just piranha everywhere? A bunch of people have had them as pets, so they're here, they're around. There is the opportunity for negligence and them releasing them somehow into the wild, and then them reproducing out there, and it just hasn't happened. So piranha attacks on humans are typically around the feet and hand areas. How many piranha attacks happen in the world can be described as in 2007 for half the year. There were 190 recorded. It doesn't change very much. That's just about how much happens. It's not a lot. If you feel alarmed by that number, calm down. Because all of the 190 attacks in that time period were single bites to the feet. If you had a bad open wound and you jumped into a pool full of piranha, you would probably die. And just didn't get out of that pool either. You'd probably die. They are dangerous fish in that regard. Wasn't that on River Monsters? And he got into a pool of piranha and it was fine? It says a common falsehood is that they can be attracted by blood and are exclusively carnivores. So it's false that they can be attracted by blood? Is Wikipedia saying that? Wikipedia just said that. A common falsehood is that they can be attracted by blood. If you Google that, it says, although piranhas are attracted to the smell of blood, most species scavenge more than kill, which we already know that. They're omnivorous, you know. Omnivores scavenge. There's 12 species called wimple piranhas that solely survive on morsels nipped from fins and scales of other fish. And then they swim free and then it heals again for them to nip off later. That's pretty cool. What a circle of life right there. Tips of fins. Do piranhas smell blood? A piranha can smell a drop of blood in 200 liters of water. So if you're bleeding, they are going to be attracted to that. It's proven. We did it, fellas. We found a fake fact on Wikipedia. A common falsehood is that they can be attracted by blood. And in 1913, Theodore Roosevelt was in the Amazon rainforest. And because he was there, everybody's like, hey, watch this. And they blocked off part of the river and they pushed cows into the water for him to witness them being torn apart and skeletonized by schools of piranhas. They must have been having a good time, trying to show each other cool stuff. And when you live in the Amazon rainforest in 1913, that's what cool stuff is, apparently. And we're down to references. For piranhas being the extremely recognizable, well-known fish that they are, they have a short Wikipedia article and just an outright fake fact inside of their Wikipedia article that we disproved. So fun facts are over. Uh-oh. That's not the greatest mold release, fellas. I went to the craft store because I ran out of my stuff that comes in the aerosol spray bottle. I'm gonna pull really hard on it for a long time. Maybe get a razor blade out. This might be a couple of one-piece molds that I cut open with a razor blade, actually. Yeah, this is more just silicone conditioner. Don't use this as mold release. I really wish I knew which way was up. I have to know that. Thank goodness. That was the correct direction to pour that, or to cut that in. So I might have needed to wait another day for that polyurethane over that mesh stuff to set to, I don't know, make it so it didn't come off all flaky like that. But listen to this. It probably looks more realistic with that stuff going on all over the body. I'm probably doing an overlaid image right now of real Piranha, this thing, and you're catching the vibe. You know what I mean. This is way more than enough. A pretty light microsphere balance for buoyancy, but it's light because I want it thin, and I want it thin because I want to clean the mold out with this casting. But I might still use it and make a bait out of this casting. Just a full cup of resin. This one's the head, and I need lead. This cup's getting hot. Oh my. I tried pouring for the camera angle. Seems like this stuff is expanding. So we've run into a bit of an issue. There's some gappage. We're not flush. Some expansion has taken place. And the molds are bulging. Sorry, I'm just thinking of words that relate at this point. Got some good resin though. We got some lead on the bottom. This thing's kind of still sticky. I got some polyurethane out of the mold on that casting. The scales really don't look that bad. Some of the bottom teeth didn't show up because I didn't tilt the mold at all or try for this to be that clean of a casting. We got nasty bubbles too above that fin. That made it not look that good right there. Oh boy, is this a fail? You probably thought of it as a fail as soon as you saw the molds. I think you're right. This build's been a little crazy so far. Mainly with the molding and the casting and trying to get that to work, and then just going with the wood instead of resin. But I'll get the mold to work eventually. I just probably can't do it on video right now. That whole thing, you know? We're on to painting, and we're gonna start with pearl black. I don't do this often. But it's a great way to start with that mesh scaling. It does something to it that makes it look better. And really, I'm just trying to get the pearl black on the undercuts of the carvings. Not just coming at it like that on the face, but you know, like that. We're gonna do white from the bottom up. When we get to the sides, it's just gonna be perpendicular with the bait. No more than that. Just like that. That put a ton of detail on it, and there's no color. Nice and scrappy looking. That's detail burnt sienna. It's gonna give the gold something to make sense with, or that way it's not just black and white straight to gold. I'm using it like it's transparent, but it's not. I'm just going light with it, and we're coming straight at the bait with the spray. and we're not overdoing it. Fluorescent sunburst orange with a bit of balancing clear stirred up in a cup. The balancing clear is necessary for this color. It's just so thin, it's like shooting less than water. Time to get fancy. That's oxide red. It needs to go there and all up in here and everywhere. Maybe a tiny bit right there. I thinned it out. It's gonna fall into each individual little crevice that this mesh made. This mesh. Once I get to the scales. Small pupil, yellow and red, dead meat custom. You guys see that little bit of yellow right there in the gills that matches the eye? Oh my goodness. When stuff like that is done intentionally and it looks good, it's exciting. This is one of those baits that really needs the back piece to look balanced out. That just looks too intense, like blood splattered, you know? But you take a step back, look at the whole picture, and it's just some cool markings up front. It's not everything anymore, you know? Wow, that looks good. Reference picture. Yeah, that head is way more intense than the real fish up there. Maybe this is a gnarly piranha. No, I didn't do anything else gnarly. Just the teeth. I thought it was fitting. Spinning screwdrivers, that's pretty good. I glued all of those fins that I carved out to flat pieces of wood. That's what these are. And then in the mold there, those are the bases of every fin. I gotta cut and pull these out. And then I'll have a single piece mold that I can open up, pour a bunch of flexible resin, single pour. I get all the fins for this bait. I got some of it out. I think this tail fin has become the silicone. It needed more than mold release. Oh, we got it. I just want to make sure I cut all the way to the tip of that fin back there and make sure there's a way for air to get out on this side too. Pour more than needs to be in there, let it go and it squeezes out and it'll be perfect. It's the next morning. I had some extra twist wire connections that I just glued in right there. So I must need to get a new bottle of this flexible resin stuff because it just won't cure. It's sticky. It's made such an issue installing these fins. I got them installed. A new difficulty level in life has been established because of that to me. That little hole that I left in that bottom fin for the hook hanger doesn't line up perfectly, and this fin is like the more that the glue cures, it's bending. It's weird. It's frustrating. I'm frustrated right now. But we got the fins in, we can go check the action. I can rip this bottom one off if it gives me any trouble. I'll do that with delight. I didn't show it, but I had to break the Dremel back out and blast that slot wider. Same with the tail fin. Make sure everything has a spot that it fits in and accepts well. I probably just take this stuff too serious and just need to calm down and go fish the bait. It looks fine. This is the weather we have to look forward to today. We're gonna start at a lake, mainly to see an action. It might be topwater, by the way. Moment of truth. She floats upright. Good. Dude, this thing is prime and ready to accept a lip. This thing wants a lip so bad. It has a tiny swim without the lip. Oh my goodness, it just wants one though. I've never been able to tell so quick that a bait wants a lip. Okay, I don't think I can fish in this rain for too long. It's too much. And it's not stopping. I've gotten the bait to work pretty good. I learned how to fish it. I'm just getting soaked. This is last cast. I am soaked. A lip's going on there. We'll try it out in the next video, see if we can get a good swim out of it. I have an intensely good feeling about it. It's gonna work. We'll tag a little bait making bonus fish in addition to the next video. Not this one. I just blasted a bunch of wasp nests off the house. So we're gonna end this video with a little bit of wasp nest destruction. Bonus wasp nest blasting. That's the best kind of bonus. Oh, and I didn't say it. Dang it. I'll say it now. On to the next bait. So I'm about to perform an act of heroicism for my family. As you might know, my biggest fear in life are wasps and things that sting. You see it? See those dirty, no good pests? They're about to get it. I'm kind of scared.
It's okay. Yeah, I have a feeling your camera's gonna get very wet because you tend to like spray more time.
No, it'd be good. do.